Hi, everybody. Welcome to my January actuals. So, there's a few things going on here. One, I cannot find good light in my house to save my life, and I refuse to be on camera, not at my best. Whatever. No, I just feel like, no, I look, no, not all that great with the light in my house. So, until then, this is the way I'm going to make my videos. And then also, the second thing is, this month, actually last Monday, or this Monday actually, I discovered that somebody stole my identity. Can you believe that? I was like, wow. I mean, my credit score was absolutely amazing. So I guess if I was me, I would try to steal my identity too. They opened up like over 14 accounts and they're all like 2 months past due. And then one of the accounts is actually in collections. And even with that, my credit score is a 675. So anyways, I'm working on that. But what happened was I did make a budget video earlier in the month of January, but I think I put too much information. Like I just named my actual credit cards and I didn't want to have that information out there, especially now that I know that somebody is out there perpetrating like they are me and they are not me. So I took that video down. So in this video, what we're going to see is the first column, this one right here, is the column of what I actually projected my January budget would be for the second half of January. I did this like in the middle of January, so I had already received my income for the first part of the month. So this is like the remainder stuff. And then this column right here is what actually happened. And also, let me show you my nails. See, one of the things I chose to do to cut expenses was to not get manis and petties so often. So I'm really doing bare frills minimum, cutting my nails down, maybe throwing a clear coat of polish on them myself. And I'm also not getting my hair done as often. I'm getting my hair done like as needed if I need to go to an event or whatever. But other than that, I'm choosing to look a haggard, ragged mess, which is also why I am not putting me on video. So let's look at this. In the month of January, I projected that I was going to make $4,610. I get multiple streams of income. I'm not breaking out where each thing is coming from, but the sum total was, I thought it was going to be $4,610. I projected that. I actually made $4,710. I got a few checks that I wasn't necessarily expecting. Also, I underestimated what my new take-home pay would be because I increased my 401k according to Dave Ramsey's step 6. Wait a minute, is that step 6? No, it's not step 6. It's step 4. Step 4, increase your 401k or increase your investments to 15%. Let me show you this. I made this for you. I previously was doing 7%. That's a percent sign. I messed it up. I made it the wrong way. But anyways, that says 7%. So it was previously 7% and I moved it up to 12%, not 15%, only because I really want to talk to my tax guy, which I will be seeing when I do my taxes and get some advice on what I should do with that. And maybe if I should break that up in different investments and not just my 401k. My company matches 6% of what we put in. So I'm currently putting in 12%. So haven't gotten a paycheck yet that reflects the true 12% for a true month. So yeah, I'm kind of guessing what I think that's going to be. Item number 1, $500 I gave away in gifts, and that was correct. That's exactly what I did. And then also you'll see that I highlighted in pink where I did better than what I budgeted. And then I highlighted in blue where I did a little worse than what I budgeted. $95 HOA, $100 gas. Turned out that gas people owed me. I overpaid in gas or something. I don't know. But I didn't owe a bill because I had a credit to my account, my utility gas bill account. So I actually didn't have to pay anything in gas. I guesstimated that my electricity would be $250. It actually came in at 210. Yay, yay, yay. Also, because now that I'm actually intentionally looking at what I'm spending, what I did was I lowered my heat in my house. I usually like it to be super Jamaican tropical up in this Mickey flick, but I'm learning to live with a temperature of like 71 degrees and 69 degrees on the first floor. And I'm learning to wear socks, and I'm learning to put blankets around me and things like that and keep my house nice and crispy cool. And my son said something about it, and I was like, dude, go put on some clothes. He had a nerve to come down like in boxers and no shirt, talking about something he was cold. You better go put some clothes on. Okay. Cable, 155. Um, so that was good. Cell phone, 260. My cell phone plan currently has 4 people on it. My son, my mama, my grandmama. So I'm good with all of that. And of course, I have like insurance plans on most of the phones, I think. So 260 a month. 125 home securities. I have 2 houses that I have security systems on. So that's the total of the 2 security systems. Subscriptions, that's what that subs mean. $25 is what I projected. $38 is what it turned out to be. And again, this is because I did this budget mid-month, and when I thought some of the things had already came out, turned out it didn't. So that's why it went to $38. Subscriptions are things like my Netflix account, Pandora, and Abraham-Hicks. I get their bi-weekly recordings. I love Abraham-Hicks. So I get their bi-weekly things, and I actually listen to them. So I decided not to cut that expense because it feeds into my life. It feeds into my spirit. It makes me an awesome human being. And because I'm awesome, you guys get to hear the awesomeness of the awesome stuff. Okay. Number 9, $85. The cleaners. Again, underestimated that because I thought the cleaners had came already. Turned out they didn't. So they came twice within my budget. So that's a 170, y'all. See how I had to like fix that. And that's why these numbers underneath are actually going to be wrong because I didn't go and refix the subtraction. But it all works out in the end. So if you're going to look at my videos for super, super, super to the penny detail, you're really not going to get that. As you also can tell, I round off and round up. That's why you see nice, neat numbers here, like the 70s and the 75s and the 35s. So that's what happens in that way. Timeshare, $65. So what happens here is I have a timeshare. Don't recommend anybody get a timeshare, but I have my timeshare and owned it free and clear for like over 15 years. Last year or the year before that, they got me and talked me into upgrading, and I fell for it, even though I knew better. But it's paid off in any event. So what I do is I pay my timeshare up front for the year. And so I paid it in December. And that $65 shows me that my timeshare fees, the annual maintenance fees, actually went up by $65 because I was short $65. Again, not a big fan of timeshares, but I got one, so I'm trying to make the best use of it. And I actually make money from my timeshare because most times I don't use it. And what I do is I rent my week out to other people, and it usually brings in enough money for me to pay my annual maintenance fees. But again, what's the point? I'm not making a profit, and yeah, I know many way cheaper ways to travel that don't require a timeshare. So if you haven't fallen into the timeshare trap, I suggest you do not. But that's just me. Some people have timeshares and they love them, but hey. The next one, insurances. That's what the INS is, insurance. $215, and again, that's not just one thing. That's like my car insurance, and I pay somebody else's life insurance for them. And so that's what that insurance is. $200 check-in. So what happens here is I like to keep a cushion in my checking account. Right there, I said $200 that I keep in my checking account. And if that money's not spent, when I get paid, all I do to my budget is add the amount that I would need to bring that balance back up to $200. Turned out that I still had money in my checking, so I did not have to add anything to my checking account. I decided in the meantime to lower that to $150 a month. And I may even decide to lower it to $100 a month. So what that looks like again is this. Made a nice little sticky for you. I love stickies. I'm addicted to them. Checking account. When I get paid, when payday comes, I just want that to equal 150. If there's already $50 in the account, I just add 100. And that's how my budget works for the checking. And what happens with the checking account, that's usually my ATM money. When I go and I pull out cash from the ATM, I live a credit card lifestyle. I'll tell you guys a little bit more about that later. But usually I do all my purchases. I pay all my bills with credit cards, and then I use what's in my budget. Like when I budgeted 170 for cleaners, they actually get paid with a credit card. So because it's in my budget though, that money's in my account and I use my account and pay the credit card right back off. So again, that checking money is just for if I just so happen to have to write a check for something or cash that I'm pulling out for, pocket spending money type things. Snowshoe. We had planned to go on a trip in January to Snowshoe, West Virginia, to snowboard. And I budgeted $520 for that. But guess what happened? Made it sticky for you. Snow. Lots of it, Jonas. So we could not leave and take that 5-hour trip to the mountains of West Virginia. And so that trip had to get pushed off to February. And now, I could leave that money in my checking account for the February trip because I'm going to go in February. But the way I do it is I just move that money to my savings account. And then you'll see that I will spend from my savings account. I would explain a little more about how that works as well. So therefore, that money didn't get spent. It got moved. Credit cards. I projected $420 on credit cards. End up spending $750 on credit cards. I'm also going to make another video breaking down my extracurricular spending because what you're going to notice is on my budget, you're not going to see money for gas for my car, groceries, entertainment, or food. All of that just gets spent on my credit card and I pay it off as I go. And in the other video, I'm going to break down exactly what I spent on those credit cards and what I could have done better, where I could have saved money, what I could have said no to, and what I could have just been a smarter decision maker and smarter spender. But yes, 750 credit cards. I don't feel any kind of way about it. As you might can tell, A, I'm debt free. B, minus my mortgages, and B, I think I bring in pretty good money, so it doesn't put me in a precarious situation. If it did, I would check myself before I wreck myself, but I'm not wrecked, so we good, but we still going to try to do better. That's what this is all about, doing better. 525. I projected that I was going to send an additional $250 to my mortgage, and instead I sent $525 to my mortgage. So yay! So in the places like where I end up not having to pay a gas bill or the HOA, that money got to be extra money that I was able to contribute to my mortgage. And then savings. I wanted to put $1,200 in my savings. I actually put a little over $1,700. Again, my numbers are not perfect, but at the end of the day, they all check out. So $1,700 went to my savings. And remember, my savings is going to be a tricky thing for you people. It's not going to accumulate nice and neatly like we think it should. Because remember, that extra $500 came from the snowboard trip that I didn't take. And it went here. But again, that money is going to get spent in the future. So what I want to show you is what my goal for my budget is this. I want to increase my savings by as much as possible because I love doing whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. And I love being able to go places like impromptu trips or vacations, getaways, entertainment. Like I'm thinking about going to the Kennedy Center next week to go see Alvin Ailey. We'll see. And my theory is if you prepare for it, if you stay prepared, you don't have to get prepared. So I try to put as much money in savings as possible. Therefore, when something comes up, the money is already there. Again, Dave Ramsey's step number 3 is to save 3 to 6 months of expenses. I have approximately 4 months saved, so not a true 6 months yet. But at the same time, I believe in living in the moment because tomorrow is not promised. I had a coworker who was working to retirement. He ended up passing away before he even got a chance to retire. You know, I like to say that, what, I have no regrets. I lived my life to the fullest, but yeah, at the same time, I was still responsible. I think by me showing that I don't have any debt, um, I have bills that I can manage. I have properties that I make money from, shows that I'm fiscally responsible. But I want to do better. I don't want to just blow so much money on things I don't need to blow them on. So that's what this is about. Also, Dave Ramsey's step number 6 is to start paying off your mortgage. So my mortgage is a huge mortgage. Um, Realistically, I could not see myself paying that off anytime soon. But what I did to get my mind prepared to start paying it off is I started watching tons of YouTube videos of people who have paid off their mortgage, people who are working on paying off that mortgage to make this more of a reality for me. Because the truth is this, when you retire, if you still have a mortgage hanging over your head, that's a place where you can have stress in your life because it makes it so that you have to have more money saved just so that you can pay that mortgage. And then it just makes it so that you have more of a risk of something going wrong or being taken away because something happened and you're not able to pay the mortgage. So my retirement plan is to have a house that's owned free and clear. Um, but at the same time, I still want to have fun. I want to have all the fun. I love traveling. Um, because I've analyzed the 17 vacations I took last year, and out of the 17 vacations, only 4 of them were places that were new, places I've never been. And my goal in life is to go and see a lot of places that I've never been to. What that means is for this year, I'm being more focused on where I vacation. I'm choosing to go places I've never been, and I'm actually planning ahead of time, which is a little new. But I also have room in my calendar and room in my budget to jump on a few impromptu vacations as well. So this month, let me hurry up and turn the page over. Hold on. All right. So this month, this is my January goal results. I added $1,743 to my savings account. So my savings is up. But that is not always going to be the case because remember, as I go on trips, as I pay for things, I pull that money out of my savings, which is way better than putting it on a credit card and having to pay it off in some future. So I pull it from my savings. So we're going to see this thing go up and down month to month. The goal is for it to go up so that I can be a baller on a budget. But we're going to see what happens. I don't even know what's going to happen. And then this month, I brought my home principal down $525. Let me show you the trick that I'm using for myself to pay off my mortgage. Made it sticky. Okay. Currently, I owe $514,000. Well, I don't even know how to say that number. $514,458 on my mortgage. So what I'm doing is I'm breaking it down in bite-sized manageable pieces. So I told myself that was the equivalent of having $14,458 in debt. So I created a debt snowball I created something that basically made me think that this is how much I have in debt. So before I paid that $525.75, I had $14,983.75 in debt. Pay that off. Now this is what I'm down to. My goal is to try to pay this number off as fast as possible. And this is going to include my monthly mortgage payment that goes to the principal. So we're going to see that in February. But right now, because I did this mid-month, my mortgage had already been paid for January. And that's where we're going to see this number go down. And then once I pay off this $14,458, I'm going to take another bite, maybe $25,000 or something. And we're going to keep playing that game until we pay this mortgage off. And it's going to take years, of course. And that's what we're doing right now. So up $1,743.04, down on my principal $525. That is my January budget. Peace.